I've put the worst quarterback of all time on Oregon, who is a 1 overall in every single category, and I'll be seeing if he can win the Ducks their first championship. Now, you might be wondering, how would that even be possible? Because I always play on the hardest difficulty, and with stats like 1 speed and 1 throw accuracies, it's going to be impossible to move the ball. I haven't tested a thing, so winning a championship might be out of the question. But our first game is against 64 overall FCS Northwest, so we'll see if scoring is even doable. By the way, I also made him 5'7" to make my life even more miserable. But we're using Oregon, so at least throughout this entire video, we're going to see some sick jerseys. Now, our defense would get a stop, so that's a good start. All I want to do is complete a pass right here, and they've intercepted it. There's no throw power. I mean, at least they'd only get a field goal, but that is the worst possible way that this game could have started off for us. We're going to have to run it. Once we have to play on the road too, I know things are going to be even worse. With our 1 speed, I'm trying to scramble for the first down. And that run right there just made Tom Brady look like Tyreek Hill. We're going back to the ground where Jordan James is going to get 7. Now, one thing I know we should be able to complete is these jet touch passes. At least that is going to work in our favor, but they nerfed these since release. So I'm also going to have to give some bubble screens a shot. I think every throw is going to be a red meter, but Johnson's going to come away with the football, and 55's not catching Johnson. We're into the end zone. Apparently, we missed the extra point, though. Our defense got another stop, and now we have the ball back. Considering our situation, this is a great first quarter, but it's not going to get any easier than this. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to win it all with them. My plan is literally just hand it off to Jordan James as much as I can. But if we get in these second and short situations, I do want to try and throw the rock, see if we can complete some passes. That's the problem, though. No matter what I do, it's going to be inaccurate. It'll be off target. But at least against a team like FCS Northwest, they're never going to be able to stop the run. I'm getting bored of handing it off already, though. I want to start throwing it. This might be the most passing yards we get all season. And for having 1 throw accuracies, I feel like it really hasn't been that terrible to use. The ball gets to where it needs to go. It's the throw power that's a big issue. This bubble does not work. And I might need to search for a different playbook because this one only has 1 jet touch pass in it, which does not do well either. Here we go. It is 3rd and 9. We are in 5 wide. I am letting DJ Ukulele II just throw this ball. But our receiver didn't turn around to catch it. They're not on the same page. I think taking field goals is going to be a big part of this year. We have gotten it back with a minute left in the first half, but I'm really just trying to run out the rest of the clock. I will go for a deep throw right here. I should have run out the rest of the clock like I was saying I was doing. Do not return this. Do not return this. What was I thinking? I wanted to see if it was even possible to get off a deep throw. But that was the worst time to try it. Obviously, I was not expecting them to just get a pick 6. And from that play right there, it is very clear to me that those speed options are not going to work for us. Going into the half, we are trailing to an FCS school. But I have thrown 2 interceptions, and I'm still just trying to figure out everything I can get away with. Obviously, I don't want to just run the ball. I want to try to throw it. This bubble screen could go for a big play again. But every time the ball leaves our hands, it is so risky, and we are just keeping it on the ground right here. Whittington's going to get some open space, and that gives us another touchdown. Now, because we missed an extra point, we do need to go for this 2-point conversion. I don't see anything, though. And the day we face a better offense or our defense just doesn't play well, we're in trouble. Considering we keep getting it back, though, I think we're going to be able to close this out. And my ultimate goal for this game to end it is throwing for 1 passing touchdown against them. Not a screen play or a jet touch pass like this right here. I want to throw for an actual touchdown, and we're getting inside the red zone with this. I want to hit a drag route or something and watch them take it to the crib. There's nowhere to go, though. I think we have been able to figure out a lot in this matchup. I am feeling a bit more confident. But anytime I have dropped back to complete a deep pass, that's where I get concerned. Could this be the passing touchdown? It is. I don't know what type of coverage they were just running, but we have gotten the ball back again, and I'm going for a wide receiver screen. We're padding those stats. This has to be one of the most challenging things I have ever attempted on this channel, and we are not going anywhere. So this game is technically not over yet. A defensive stop right here would seal it, though. When we get to some bigger games, I'll probably watch our defense more, and we give it up. 4th and 10 again. The Ducks can close it out right here, and it looks like that ball is brought in. They'd eventually score a touchdown too. The onside kick was missed by the first player, but thankfully somebody else recovered it. And with 1 first down, it is all over. We are going to get a win. Thankfully, that's what's happening. This is going to be stressful. This is going to be very challenging, but at least I can say we came out on top of 1 matchup. And if we just ignore the 2 interceptions, going 10 for 15 for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns with a 1 overall quarterback's insane. It's going to be a very long season, though. Ashton, G&T, and Boise State is up next. We're going to have teams like Ohio State, Michigan, and Washington on here. And I'm going to keep on testing out new playbooks until I can find the best one that suits our needs. For this matchup, I'm going to test out Auburn's. And I am going to enjoy all these home games because once we have to deal with Stadium Pulse, it's going to be a problem. We've got the ball first, and we're just going to hit them with the jet touch pass. opening it up like this, but there's not anywhere to go. Facing an actual competent defense is the biggest issue. We can't just run it for 10 yards. But maybe a screenplay could work out really well for us. We're going to hopefully hit this pass. We got to block that one guy, and we are moving the chains. We need as many bubbles as possible out there. This play doesn't go anywhere. And it just hit me that it would probably be smart to put our best and fastest receiver in the slot. Tez Johnson is going to have to come up big for us. He is going to go nowhere on the jet touch pass. And if it is 3rd and 14, I'm not sure I should even try to throw it. Ashton Jeanty got them all the way down to the 2-yard line, but all they got was a field goal. So I'm thankful, but I can just tell the run's not going to work for us the same way it was. This is terrifying, and it's not like we're playing against Ohio State. Boise State is still a good team. But for whatever reason, I didn't expect it to be as difficult as it has been in this one. We are getting loose with Tez Johnson, though. That's what I want to see. 27 passing yards is very encouraging. Don't ask me why I just dropped back to pass it right there. And the clock is going by so fast because we're running so many plays. It is now 3rd and 6, and as long as we don't mess this up, we're going to be at least able to tie the game up. But we have to hit this field goal to do that, and I feel like that should sneak in. On their second drive, we held them to a 3-and-out, which is pretty encouraging, though they're all over our halfback screens. So we're just going to take it to the half. I'm going to try Wildcat for the very first time, but that didn't really work out either. We have DJ blocking over there, and this is the final play of the half. Hang on, Whittington, you got to be quicker here, buddy. Keep breaking tackles. We might have been able to find a little bit of sauce with this team, but our success feels so dependent on our defense right now. I'm hitting them with the double pass, and there's nowhere to go. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best of moves, but if it did work, it would have given us a great play to use the rest of the year, and we're getting the first maybe? We'll still be able to take it with this type of blocking. I mean, we had to look to run the ball there. But then our next run got stuffed on first down. Here on second down, the jet touch pass got blown up, and we might be settling for a field goal right here. If I hit the right hole, we could have had a first. Coach wants us to go for it. I'm not feeling too confident about it, but we are going to try to fight. And I hope they don't end up challenging that play, because I'm not so sure we got that. This is so difficult to pull off. I am trying my best to get some points, but there's no room to try new things because of how tight this game is. I mean, the double pass just went super wrong for us, and they are prepared to stop the bubble screens. So it's 3rd and 7. We have to throw a real pass right here, and we're going to complete it to Holden for the first down. I cannot believe that that just worked. That gives me some hope. And maybe I shouldn't be playing as scared as I have been. Our defense got us the ball back too, so we are super close to just pulling off a win. But my heart dropped on that throw. I thought it was thrown so lightly that they were just going to get the interception. They are set up to stop this run on 3rd down, and we don't get it. This game cannot go to overtime. I repeat, this game cannot go to overtime. We have to hold them on 3rd and 10. And it all comes down to this right here. Watching from the sidelines, they have all the time in the world to get a throw out, but it's dropped. Thank you. I think they can still get the ball back with about 20 seconds left. But even if they stop us right here and do, I am completely fine with that. I wasn't taking a risk. It is always a lot more fun to watch defenses whenever it's imperialism. I am not enjoying it here because this is blatantly just stressful. They are about to roll out and get the ball out, but it's thrown away. So all the Ducks defense has to do is not give up a Hail Mary. They have held Ashton Jeanty very well. This is the final play of the game. Please make sure that we are 2-0. That's not caught. It might have been a close call, but the worst quarterback is going to get another win. And Jordan James only had 37 rushing yards. One thing I am proud of, though, is I was 14 for 14. We just didn't have any big plays. And the Beavers on the road in this rivalry are our last non-conference opponent before we start Big Ten play. Now, I have decided to go back to the Oregon playbook. I feel like we did better with it. But starting our first drive on the 4-yard line, I'm not sure anything can save us right here unless Jordan James gets out of there. If he was faster than like 90 speed, this would be so much easier. But we are already passing on a 3rd and 4, and I'm going to take our drag route right here. That's enough to complete a pass. It's weird that we can do that so consistently with one in every single category, but I'm not complaining. We definitely need it, and the RPO is going to allow us to get like 15 yards. I think this play could be big for us. We're going to hit the pass right there, but it doesn't go anywhere. And Evan Stewart on the bubble is going to not catch it. There's the inaccurate throws that I was expecting. 3rd down now. We have our hitch route open, and it's caught. I also took a timeout to get a better look on this 4th and 1 because I did want to go for it. We just handed off. And let's go for a big passing play right here. I'll see if there's anything I could throw. Nope, I'm just going to play it safe, take the flat. I am still terrified. I know that Heisman gets in pressure super fast. We can't get a huge run. And if this 3rd and 4 doesn't work out, we're going to have to go for it on 4th down again. That was a very boring first quarter. And the offensive stats do not look good. But we have to take our time on these drives. This would be a 96-yard drive if we finish it. And I just feel like eventually they're going to leave our tight end open right there. He has a chance to make a move, and he hurdles over the defender. This is going a little bit better for us using the jet touch pass. It looks like their defense got a bit confused. Tez Johnson could outrun them to the crib, and he falls into the end zone. We have taken a 7-0 lead on the Beavers, but we have another missed extra point. I'm going to assume we have our 1 overall quarterback holding the ball there, and that's the issue. But that's fine. Our defense got a stop against Oregon State, and now Jordan James is going to pick up the first. Literally, all we have to do is end this first half with a field goal, and we're going to be in a great spot. Once again, we're going for the hurdle with Ferguson. Why can he do it so well? That one play has actually worked out for us twice now. I knew it could be decent, and that's probably good enough for this team, though the run is going to stay up. Jordan James just keeps on breaking tackles. My vision as a runner is not too good, so I'm thankful he was able to pull that off. Now the halfback toss gets him out in space, also breaking another, which means we're probably on pace to run for more yards than we have in any other game. I think I need to do a better job of mixing in halfback screens, though. I complete them just as often as I would if I was using a 99 overall quarterback, and I'm gonna try to throw to the end zone right here. We have a slant out there on the field. If it's not open, though, scrambling probably isn't the best move. That was a fumble waiting to happen, but we are gonna end this first half with a field goal, 9-0 now, and I think we have handled this one super well. We get the ball to start this third quarter too, so we can try to run out some clock while also going for big plays, though Tez Johnson might start us off right by going to the crib with this jet touch pass. He was so close to pulling that one off. We're going for the 2-point conversion if we get in, because that would give us a 3-point lead. There's only one jet touch pass in this entire playbook for Oregon, but it seems to be the best one. All right, 3-possession lead right here if we're able to take in this run. And after getting another stop, I think this is the drive where we start to try to throw the ball. There's probably not many times this is going to happen this year, but I feel comfortable doing it in this situation. And maybe I'll build up some confidence to sling it a little bit more often. It didn't really work out for us right there, but because of our defense, we still have a 17-point lead. And all around, I'd still consider this a really solid game. We're going to hit the flat immediately, but go nowhere. Apparently, our defense would also get a pick 6 for a touchdown. So our best win yet came over our rivals, and Tez Johnson's going to win player of the game. I was hoping it would go to DJ Ukulele the second, though. These stats are better than some of the ones he's put up in real life. And I think the worst quarterback just got a much-deserved bye week. By the way, as I'm filming this video, Oregon might not be the best team in the country, but they're definitely one of them. And it was a perfect fit for a team because our right end is actually DJ Ukulele's brother. They're playing together, doing better than ever, but UCLA is an 84 overall and they're 3-0. So playing this on the road, we could start Big Ten conference play with a loss. I'm not feeling great going into this game, but we have come out on top of all our other ones. And our defense getting an early stand definitely makes me feel better. We're going to see if Jordan James can hit this outside. But again, it's his speed that isn't good enough. We do have an open receiver right here, though, and we complete it to Tez Johnson. I can't believe it. The more I play with this team, the more I'll find plays like that could actually work for us through the air. And I really want to hit Evan Stewart with this bubble on second down, but they were over it. It's going to be very difficult to pick up this 3rd and 9, but our tight end was open. Instead, we get deflected into an interception and just some great blocking from our offensive line. The Bruins got held to a 4 and out, though. I don't even think they got 4 yards on that drive. And it really is our defense that keeps making sure we can have good games. We're going to pick up the first down, break 2 tackles with Holden. He keeps on going. And I'm starting to feel confident again. We are going through the air. We could have this hitch route, and that's another interception. Are you kidding me? He literally just sucked that ball in. Like, it hit his kneecap. He was able to somehow make the interception. Ferguson is missing the tackle, and they still only got a field goal, though. This collapse for us is not good. I got to stop trying to throw the ball. Just hand it off. I was clearly starting to get too confident, which is insane considering the circumstances, though. We're going to get some good blocks right here, and Tez Johnson is gone. That is going to be another touchdown for him. He has been incredible. You know what? He should be in the Heisman running. And the fact that I've thrown 2 interceptions, but we have the ball back up by 4 is crazy. I'm going for another pass, though. If they give us man-to-man coverage, we should have it. And we might just need them to send the house so this halfback screen can work out for us. We had blockers over there. Jordan James breaks a tackle. And this is where being aggressive could be very bad, but we're going to get the 4th and 1. Making sure they don't get the ball back before the end of the half is super important to me. I don't want them to have a chance to score more. But that could have backfired really bad for us. We've continued to run it or use RPOs. And now we're in a spot where I have to try and at least get us into field goal range. Jordan James somehow gets free from 96, even though he was all over it. Now, I do have a theory, and that's if we can get a fade route in man-to-man coverage, we should be able to throw that ball up and catch it. But I would have to click on to make the play. We're going to have to give it a shot, but it can't be against zone coverage. I think this is a great opportunity right here. If it is man-to-man, and it is. This is what I wanted. we're going to have to come back to it. They got in a little bit too quick there, but it's fine. The fullback dive will help us move the chains. And I'm going to test my theory one more time. That is man-to-man coverage. We're throwing it up and we can't get it. It is so hard to make those click-on catches in this game, though. We need to be able to make this one. And I think we're just going to settle for a field goal to end this first half. The bar is shaking a little bit, but we have gotten a good hit. That's straight down the middle. And we have remained in control of this game, which is super crucial to our success. We can't get free, though. I'm actually going to try throwing it on this third down, though. If we have enough time to get the drag out to Stewart, that'll allow us to get more. And that's the thing. Our biggest gains through the air could almost come from throwing the ball. Like right here, Ferguson's going to allow us to pick up like 20 yards. It seems risky, and it probably is with one throw accuracy and everything, but it's a lot more enjoyable than just running the football. So I'm going to keep on giving it a shot. Here on 3rd and 5, we need to make the possession catch. And I can't believe this keeps on working for us. We're also getting some good blocks. If it's 2nd and inches, we're basically guaranteed a first down. We might have a touchdown right here. That is going to be caught. And the motion confused them or something, but I thought they were getting back to that still. With our defense stopping UCLA as well, I'm going to do my best to just run out as much clock as I can. And I've been able to take us all the way down to the 6-yard line where they are not stopping Jordan James. He just squeezed his way through. No hole is too tight for him. That is what you want to see. And here at the end of the game, I've just been messing around. We're playing super well, and we are about to score another touchdown. We didn't get another chance to get the ball after that, but it's probably a good thing because my final interception tally for this performance was 3 interceptions, but we threw for over 200 yards. The confidence is starting to build, and we're playing Michigan State. It's not like we have a tough matchup. But after that, we do face off against Ohio State. Michigan is on the road. They're somehow #1 in this dynasty sim. So the struggle games are coming up, and I can't believe how many teams have already lost in Big Ten play. For now, though, we just have to handle ourselves against Michigan State. I brought out the yellow jerseys, and it looked like they were going to get a touchdown on their first drive, but they only got a field goal, so I'm thankful. Now, I already want to come out and start completing some passes, though that was a bad read. And I think it's best if we just get warmed up with a jet touch pass, go with that on 3rd and 5, and we are going to make sure we move the chains. I was just messing around at the end of that UCLA game, but now I have to take things seriously again, because right now we're trailing, and this is just starting from 0. We're going nowhere. We actually need to complete a pretty big pass here on 3rd and 8. I might just throw this ball up and hope that Evan Stewart catches it. He gets it snagged out of his hands, though, from above. And if it wasn't for our defense forcing an interception, getting us the ball back in this spot, we'd be going into the second quarter in a lot of trouble. I'm very thankful for them, but I am going to keep on trying to throw it. We should catch this. And anytime I change up the play, it seems like the defense flips around a little bit, though I hit the wrong button. I'm sitting here acting like I can treat this like any other game. We might actually have Jordan James right here, though. I got to remember that play. And it's throws like that that make me feel like I can sling it throughout this entire game. To finish this drive off, you know who we're going to get involved. It has got to be Tez Johnson. He's just going to come around with this jet touch pass, get the free 6. And what's been weird about this game is on like half of my play calls, the defense has flipped before we've even done anything. I think that might be what caused Jordan James to get open on this wheel route. We're going to go back to him. But there it is, an actual inaccurate throw that just didn't get where it needed to in time. I mean, the throw power is one of the worst things about this. But ever since I started hurdling more, I've been having a lot more success. And Tez, you got one player to beat. Their DBs are flipping around as I've changed this play, so we should be able to hit Ferguson, make sure we get inside the red zone. And all I'm saying is things are starting to open up, though when I don't have a read, I'm in trouble. Now, it's probably too late to try and go for a Heisman Trophy, but I do want to see if we can pull it off, just based off of the fact that we can get yardage. But in order to do that, I do need to throw for passing touchdowns, so that's where this could get a little bit tricky. Basically, I can't throw for any more interceptions this season, so it's going to have to be smart underneath reads like this. And I can't believe how scared I was playing for most of the year. We're going to hit the wheel route to Jordan James. This is actually incredible. I am completing pass after pass on Heisman mode with one of the worst quarterbacks I think this game has ever seen. It's got to be. And if Tez Johnson wants to get us another touchdown off of the jet touch pass, that would be wonderful right here. The blocking is good. The defense flipped. He has 2 guys to outrun, and he is going to be short. It's these little motions that seems to confuse them. We have Dickey doing a zig route over there, but he doesn't catch it. And that was weird to have a wide receiver with the number 99 out there. I don't want to take a risk, but I need the passing touchdowns. It is now 3rd and goal, and we got in the way. Come to think of it, Heisman Trophy might be impossible. So maybe we should just go for the championship and try our best to win each game. My confidence got a little bit too high there for a second before I realized we're using a bad QB. And I might try to take this fade route. Never mind, it's zone coverage. We have to fit it in that window, but we can't. The fact that Michigan State once again was not able to do anything, though, really speaks volumes about them. Because because they've had plenty of chances to do stuff versus us and they just can't. It's incredible. This entire fourth quarter's just been running down the clock trying to seal our win. And nailing this field goal right here would do that for us. Then we can try out some other things, which is going to be the case. Never mind, our defense isn't getting us the ball back, but they could hold Michigan State right here. And there it is, the Spartans' first touchdown of the game. It took them the entire 4 quarters, but you know what? I'll take it. Because once again, we've been able to make Tez Johnson look good. Maybe he's the player on this team I should be trying to get the Heisman Trophy. I just think we've had too many picks. And to be fair, without him, we would not be sitting as the #1 team in the country. As of right now, though, he's not on the watch list. And that's crazy because through 5 games, he has 8 touchdowns. It is what it is, though. Our passing stats, we've already thrown 6 picks. Even if we do lose our games to Ohio State, Michigan, and Washington, though, I feel like we could make the playoffs. So we can't lose anything else after that, and we're facing off against the Buckeyes at home. It's the game of the week, and we've yet to have something go super wrong. But if that happened here, I wouldn't be surprised. I think moving the ball versus them is going to be super difficult. We can't get huge gains. So our defense is going to have to really show up in this one, and I'm going to see if our passing game actually does decent. Ferguson gets a first, but that's just one play. They're ready for the RPO, and we're going to hand it off. With how much I've thrown the ball recently, if we do get to a 3rd and long, I'm actually kind of confident we could pull it off, though Jordan James is going to get a huge run, one of his biggest of the season, and if he was a little bit quicker, he could have finished it off. Now we're going for the RPO. Tez Johnson had to come back to the ball, but he breaks a tackle for us, and we are just 4 yards away from taking a lead against the Buckeyes. With how many people they have ready to stop the run, though, I am going to try the jet touch pass to Evan Stewart, and then our defense got a 4th down stop on our own 34-yard line. It's not like the Buckeyes haven't gotten it down the field. They just haven't finished any of these drives off, and I'm throwing it on this 3rd down. We have a touchdown right there. The defense got confused, but because our receiver didn't turn around for the football, it is 7-7 now. They were able to score. What I might do as well is try and change up our passing to classic, because it's going to be a red throw every time, and I don't know if that's still going to punish us for it or not. Here on 3rd down, I am going to hit Jordan James. That is my only read on this play, though. They were all over it. And Ohio State has scored again. The collapse was bound to happen. I've seen enough on classic, though. All it took was 1 missed pass. We're going back to revamped, because at least on this one, it seems like the ball always gets to where it needs to. But maybe it's the pressure of the higher overall players that's causing all the inaccuracies. I mean, it is expected. We have 1 throw accuracy in literally everything. We do get the first, but getting into field goal range with like 20 seconds left in the half is not looking very likely. Ohio State might be our match. I haven't played this one the smartest, though, so some of it is my fault. And we'll see if Jordan James can get open right here. We used this play in the last game, though. They are all over it. Now, they have me sending up a Hail Mary on 4th down, but it might have been stupid for me to even step in and do this, because there could have been a chance that they actually got in field goal range. I'm just glad that the time's running out. I just threw a pick for no reason at all. But panic set in against the Buckeyes, and I better lock in on this drive to start the 3rd quarter, because if we move it down the field, we could actually tie it up. There's no more trying new things. I am just going to run the ball and throw RPOs, and we can test out all that new stuff whenever we get big leads against worse teams. Here on 3rd and 2, Jordan James is just going to have to fight for the first. And there's so many plays I'm realizing I've forgotten about because they're not recommended. That one didn't really work for us, though. They are biting with the bubble screen, and it looks like Evan Stewart has a chance to get loose right here. Come on. I'm also just waiting for Herbert to get open underneath. And you know what? I have seen enough. We're going with the jet touch pass, and our blocks are not there. There was no chance I was going to be able to outrun that Buckeyes corner. That is such a slow release. And this field goal would keep us within 4 points. It's going to be difficult to hit, though. It's a red bar. That's on me. There's a flag. Wait. Ohio State hit our kicker. I thought they fixed that bug, but evidently not, even though they put out patch notes saying they did, and we have it inside the red zone. That might just save this undefeated season right here. We are not getting open versus that corner, though, and that's what's going to make it so difficult to win versus Oregon whenever we face these tough teams. Shoving this ball into 7 men, there is no guarantees we pick up the first, and we set Jordan James up for failure there. I want to go for it on 4th down, though, and Tez Johnson short. We're now getting the ball back down by 14 points. I could have played this so much smarter, and if I've learned anything from this, it's that we can compete against these playoff level teams. We can throw the ball even. That crossing route was wide open. It's really just going to come down to how many mistakes I want to make this season. We've fumbled it, and I'm going for big passing plays at this point. We would have the touchdown right there, but our throw power is so weak we couldn't take it. Our defense would get a stop, though, so technically this game's not over. It just doesn't feel very hopeful, because how am I supposed to throw the ball down the field for 2 drives in a row? It just doesn't seem like it'll work. We have to make sure we save those timeouts for our defense so they can get a stop. Taking our drag right here doesn't happen, and I'm just hoping this motion can throw off the defense a little bit. It has on some plays. It didn't right here, though. I tried to throw it away, and instead they just fumbled it to Ohio State. This is going to make the score look so much worse than it was. This was a competitive game, though. I don't care what the score shows. We can make a lot of things happen like this. That was actually super encouraging. It's why I want to play in games like this, to test what we're able to get away with. That's also caught, and do not ask me how. I am so confused right now. I think just clicking on and making the play, though, is our chance to get those big ones. That didn't work, and I've been able to learn a lot just from those 2 quarters. Now, did we come close to beating Ohio State? Not at all. And was our stat line the worst one of the season? Yes, but I threw the ball way too many times against a good team. That's going to drop us down to number 11 in the polls, but it doesn't ruin our chance at winning a championship. As long as we bounce back against Purdue, who is 5-1, and in real life, they're absolutely terrible. I'm filming this video after they just got beat 35-0. But when the Ducks did that, they were starting Dylan Gabriel at quarterback, not DJ Ukulele II. We're getting a big run to open it up, though. And I don't think it's going to hurt us to attempt a couple of passes every so often. We did just get blown out by Ohio State, though, so I do need to figure out how we can score a lot of points again. That move from Evan Stewart is going to get him loose, and he keeps fighting. But of course, that's not enough to finish off this drive, and they have locked up our routes. We might only end up getting a field goal out of this just because I thought it was a good idea to throw the ball 3 straight times. But it's early. We're playing against Purdue. I want to see if this jet touch pass works for the first down, and cutting it up, we're going to go to the end zone. We've also already gotten a defensive stop, so things are looking pretty good. But we'll see what happens on this 3rd and 6. The defense is not flipping, which would have made this super easy to complete the pass. And I'm not sure why they get confused sometimes, but we have it back once again. We can lean on our defense a ton. It was really just against Ohio State, where once you get behind, you're not coming back. And here on 3rd and 4, I am going to hit Johnson, who allows us to get like 15. He has played such a crucial role for this team. I think he's also open right here. We're going to catch it with Ferguson, though. And once we can go up 14-0, that's when we have complete control. Losing yards right there, though. It might make more sense to pass the ball on 2nd down. And that's so frustrating. We got almost nothing out of it. We're just going to throw this ball up, go for the aggressive catch, bring it in with Holden. And that's what I'm talking about with the fade routes. If I click on and make the play, we could get big gains out of it. James is gone to the crib. Purdue is not out of it yet, though. To my surprise, they've responded back with a touchdown pretty quickly as well. And we still have a minute to get points before the end of this half, so using Holden, we're going to be able to get past midfield. But it is so crucial on every play that I have a drag route out there on the field. That's how we're having success in the air. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, though, we just need to pick up the 3rd and 2. And that didn't work out for us, so we're attempting a 58-yard field goal to end this half. I got the power right. It's going to stay in. And the Ducks must have a really good kicker. We needed that badly, though. We now have a 2-possession lead, and to start this 2nd half, Evan Stewart breaks 1 tackle to keep on going. Now, it looks like we are going to get man-to-man coverage on 3rd and 2, so with the RPO, we had to hand it off. But Purdue was all over it, plus they'd get a field goal, so now it's just a 7-point game. Tez Johnson, though, with the chance to make a defender miss. And he already has over 500 receiving yards this year. He's been like 75% of our offense. Evan Stewart, the other 25% through the air. Though he just lost the football. Somehow that ball popped out there. I feel like he was down already. Purdue is going to be able to tie it up at 17. That's ridiculous. I have thrown the challenge flag. He was clearly down. You can see that his knee is going to hit the ground. And I didn't want to get too upset just in case they overturned it, which they did, but that's crazy. If I wouldn't have challenged that there, EA would have just let Purdue go 17-17, making it tight versus us. That's some good stick. And once we hit field goal range on offense, I definitely feel a lot better about our drives. We're guaranteed to have a 2-possession lead, assuming I hit the kick. We're going with the halfback toss on 3rd down, though, and Whittington gets us more. No matter who we face off against, each one of these games is so stressful. James is going to have to get around both of those defenders. And I will try the speed option one more time. It's one of my favorite plays to run. It looks like James is in. It's been a little bit stressful, but we're going to bounce back against the Boilermakers. I can't imagine we'd lose this game from here, though. I just threw an interception with 3 minutes left for no reason at all. They followed it up with a touchdown. I was just seeing what we could do passing wise. Now we need a first. And I'm not sure what I was thinking. I should have just closed this one out easily. I doubt they'll be expecting us to throw it on 3rd down, so using our drag route, we should be able to get enough. But that was such a pointless interception to have. It's a joke that at one point I thought we might be able to win the Heisman. And our season stats aren't going to look good, but a championship could happen. That's what I keep telling myself, at least. Now we're facing off against Illinois. And at the moment, we're in a 4-way tie for first place in the Big Ten. After we play the Fighting Illini, we're going on the road to the number 5 team in the country, country, which is going to be tough. And I have to make sure that we don't drop a game like this one against Illinois before that. Starting out with the ball, we are throwing on this first play. Yes, I decided to pass. And I don't regret it. I want to throw for 200 yards against the Fighting Illini. That is my goal in this game, even though we should just be worried about winning it. But I think that's going to happen. After getting held to a 3-and-out, we have gotten the ball back on the 15-yard line. Our defense has set us up nicely. But our touchdown's coming back because of a holding call. In my opinion, that's kind of gross. The defense seems to be flipping around, though, for this jet touch pass, and Tez Johnson is gone. Now we have it back again, and I'm telling you all, I am going for 200 yards in this game. If things go south next week against Michigan, I want to be as confident as possible through the air. And I think this jet touch pass is going to be our best chance to get big gains whenever we need them, though there's another holding call. That is 2 in 1 game. We haven't had any all season, and they declined the penalty, so we punted it back to them. But look where we are getting this football. We're in such a good spot. It has been just 1 quarter, and our defense has already been able to come away with 2 turnovers. So that ball was not held on to. They're playing that bubble perfectly, and passing the ball for 200 yards will be challenging. We have done it before, though, just not intentionally. I mean, our running back was open for a second, but then his button went away. So by the time I could even throw it to him, we're just going to lose 5 yards. Now we're going to see if this works in the flat, and I think the crossing route here could be really good for us, though we used a playmaker accidentally. To be honest, with how carefree I have been playing against Illinois, I'm kind of surprised that we're in the spot that we're in. I just had a really good concept there. And I'm gonna get flamed so hard for this most likely in the comments, but the hook and ladder right there could have been a huge play. I might actually need to respect the Fighting Illini a little bit more. At the moment, we're only up by 3. And even though I've been trying to pass throughout this entire first half, we only have about 60 yards. That ball was also somehow dropped, making it 3rd and 2, where this one needs to be caught and Jordan Whittington brings it in. Never mind, that is Noah Whittington. I'm not sure where the Jordan came from. I think he might have played for Texas. That will be another 20. And that's what I'm looking for right there. If we get certain looks, we can actually throw the ball with this team. Though it didn't really work in that situation. And here on 3rd and 10, we're going to hit our drag to Evan Stewart, who is short. Now, I am still pretty confident that we can beat Illinois. So I'm going to go for it on this 4th and 1. I want a touchdown. And this would probably be a really good time to bring out the jet touch pass. There's another flag. You've got to be kidding me. We've had 3 holding calls in this game. I have never seen anything like this before. I'm going to try to get this ball out really fast. We had them beat deep. We didn't catch it. Apparently, I need to click on to make that catch as well. I'm going to give it another shot. Cover 2, right there. Come on, hold it in. There we go. Deep attack might be the best play. That gives us a chance to throw it. And what I have figured out with this play is we could go to that hitch over on the left, or we could go to this right side. I don't know what coverage they're running, but Johnson is down to the 1. This is a big time discovery, especially before we face off against one of the best teams in this game. And I am feeling more and more confident through the air the longer this goes on for, though this can't work out for us. I don't love that we went for it either, because now that Illinois has scored, we're only up by a possession. But that was what the game recommended we do, and hitting this drag route, we're not getting much. There's a fade route on this play right here, though. We'll see what type of look we're gonna get. It looks like it might be underthrown, but our defense held it down for us, and we are still in the driving seat of this game. There is one guy to beat right here to get more, and now I am gonna go back to what has worked for us. We'll see how well this ball can be placed. Possession catch, it's caught. Of all the plays I've found throughout this season so far, that's the best one. I feel like this could also go really well for us, but we definitely need to get more zip on that ball. Using a bubble screen, Tez Johnson makes another catch. And I'm literally just using Illinois to lab up. That's insane. They've been pretty good in real life this year as well. They just aren't in college football 25. And it wasn't labeled a speed option. It was this zone option that went really well for us in one of our games. That's going to be the play that we can run to. With our defense getting another stop, this one is over. I'm still trying to figure out a couple more things. I mean, this play is actually really good. And now that I'm more familiar with the playbook, I have a rotation about 5 or 6 of them that I can lean on if they're needed. We keep getting the ball back, though, in some really good positions, so I want to try and get more points. I don't want to throw a pick, but that might just happen in the chase for those more points. We're going for the aggressive catch. Bring that in, Ferguson. This will probably go down as the best performance I can put up with the worst quarterback in the country. We have this solution for the red zone, and I'm not going to get another chance to score more points, but 43 is crazy. I have done that with a player that has 1 overall in every single stat category. This is such a big achievement. And I'm sad we didn't win player of the game, but it wouldn't be possible without Tez Johnson. This is what the final stats look like. That loss to Ohio State's in the back of my mind right now, but look at these standings. Now both us and Michigan are tied for first place in the Big Ten. We are 3-5, and this is going to be the hardest road game we have to play this season. There's no way it gets any harder than this. But before we continue using the worst quarterback in the country, a word from Prize Picks, today's video sponsor. If you think you're good at guessing how players will perform, then you might like Prize Picks, where on there you choose between 2 to 6 players and then go higher or lower on their projections. Some of the picks, like the Goblin ones, are more likely to happen, while the Demon ones you have to be much more confident. And I'm coming off this win, so I'll definitely be looking to do that again. You can play in over 30 states, so there's a good chance yours is eligible. And I can also get you some cash to start out with on Prize Picks, as Code Board will get you $50 instantly whenever you play with your first $5 plus lineup. But now it's time to get back to playing with the worst quarterback. I'm very excited but very nervous at the same time to be playing here at the big house, especially because it's raining. That normally leads to more mistakes, and I have no idea what just happened right there. Now it's second down and we have almost nowhere to go. The issue with playing here at Michigan is the home field advantage is going to go crazy, and their defensive line is also going to go crazy. It's one of the best ones in this game, so I don't feel very confident going for it on 4th and inches here, but we have done it anyway. I'm already feeling pressure to pull out one of our better plays too. We have to pitch this zone option, and Jordan James gets some amazing blocks as long as holding doesn't bring it back. The more times you run something in this game, the computer will normally adjust, so that's why I don't necessarily love using that and this jet touch pass, but it is going to put us in front. It definitely helps us that Michigan's offense is not that great either. I had him open, but sometimes they can't get around those linemen, and we're going to need it to happen right here. Halfback screen, Jordan James breaks 1 tackle. That will be enough. Whether this jet touch pass works on 3rd and 3 or not, we are in field goal range. We can go up by 2 possessions, but they knew exactly what was coming. This is going to be a super hard kick to hit, and that is perfect. That is a perfect kick. Is it far enough? No. We've hit from there before. Is the wind super bad or something? Because now I'm actually confused. I thought I had it. I didn't look at the wind before I attempted that though. I saw it was from 58. They recommended that I punted it there, so I should have just listened. I thought I was going to make that happen. Now our speed option loses us a lot of yards. We've somehow missed it with Jordan James, and the game is actually just trying to make us lose now. I don't care that they only got a field goal out of that. That just ruined all of the momentum that we had. And under 2 minutes, we're going to have to throw the ball more than I would like here. That is not good. I think I have a play right here that'll work out for us though. We just have to make sure that Ferguson gets enough. And I think it's time that we bring out deep attack and see how this defense reacts to it. We're going to throw it over to Ferguson again. I think that's the throw of the video. I have not threaded the needle like that on anything else. Nothing else that impressive. And this is a pretty good dagger play because our running back should be getting open. I'm going to give the zone option one more chance. I'm going to instantly pitch it, and it is still going backwards. We've missed it again, and I know better than to kick it this time around. Looking at the wind too, I feel dumber than ever. It is 14 miles per hour in this direction. No wonder we couldn't hit. Wait, there's a flag on this though, and we could talk about that perfect punt, but I think they just gave us a field goal. That is a huge roughing the kicker penalty. They're going with man-to-man coverage right here, so we should have our hitch route, and there's still a chance we end this first half with a touchdown. I can't believe we just got that lucky like that. We need to get around one more guy, but he made the tackle right there. Now I'm just gonna wait on our drag route getting open, and not being able to run in this circumstance is very nerve-wracking. That was also underthrown. To be honest, from right here, I think we take 2 shots at a fullback dive just up the middle, but then I remembered the play that helped us get like 3 touchdowns in the last game. Can they defend it on the goal line? They are going to try to, and we're short. That's a really rough way to end the first half. We got nothing out of the fact that we got bailed out by the penalty. And penalties have hurt us in this game too, ruining some of our other drives. The Michigan defensive line is really starting to drive me insane. They got 3 stars up there, and we need to have success on this drive no matter what. We are going to just take our drag, but only getting 4 yards there. You know who's getting this ball on 3rd down, and they are all over us. It is a shame that with them pressing, I can't just throw it deep. Our arm is simply not strong enough to do it. But I think they have a linebacker on our best receiver right here. We'll see what type of coverage this ends up being, and that's bad. Now it's 3rd and 6. I know for a fact they're sending a man-to-man blitz. This is cover 0. We are throwing up a 50-50 ball, and we don't deserve to keep getting this ball back with a lead. I can't believe they haven't scored again. I'm so shook at how we ended that first half still, and I have not recovered since. But it's just hitting me that there's only a few minutes left in this this game all of a sudden, and we only need a few more first downs. That's going to come right here. The stadium pulse is also getting lower. They are in a little bit of panic. But I am pretty sure, just seeing how this defense is lined up, that this jet touch pass isn't going to go well for us. Never mind. We got the blocks that we needed, and that's also going to make another guy miss. This has been a terrible showing from the Ducks, but we're one first down away from a win, and I am running the best play. The best play. I can't believe that worked so well against Illinois. Now it is 3rd and 20. Man-to-man coverage out there. Will Johnson's definitely getting over to that. So we're just going to have to take our field goal, hope our defense can get a stop. I might have hooked that. That was nerve-wracking right there. I really struggled against their defense. I told you all it was going to be difficult. Now they're going for a huge play on 3rd and 7. And thankfully, Alex Orji's been in at quarterback. Not doing great today. On 4th down, though, we're giving up the seam. Now we have to watch the rest of this a little bit more nervously. We could have ended it. And this is it right here. Our chance at making the Big Ten championship is pretty much all on our defense. It's my fault for not scoring more points in this game, though. I won't lie about that. I'll take accountability there. I just know that if they score a touchdown, we aren't going to be able to respond. We forced a fumble, though, and they picked it up. I don't like that they're still in this game right now. 3rd and 22. Come on, we got to generate some pressure. They'll take a check down. And I am stressing right now. Come on, let's get the stop, Oregon. I need you all to come up clutch right here. Orji is going to throw it short. And it's been done. One more run for good measure, just to rub in the fact that we're winning. But that was way too close, and I'm not sure we should have won. We were only able to score 10 points. But at least it gives me hope. If we make the playoffs, we can compete with some of the bigger schools. It's just getting there still isn't a guarantee. We have one more road game. We also have to play number 25 Washington. And at the moment, we are number 1 in the Big Ten. I thought Tez Johnson would be on the Heisman watch by now, but he's not. And keep in mind, that is with 15 receiving touchdowns already. After beating Michigan, I am feeling super confident, so maybe I'll feed him a bunch in this one. And on the first play of the game, we are going to hit our tight end with the drag route. This is a good start. It's weird that I really don't like running the ball that much, even though this could be a huge one from Jordan James. He is one guy to outrun right here, and he is going to break that tackle. Keep on going, buddy. This is how we need to open it up. I was about to say I'd much rather pass it, but maybe I should hand it off to him more. And that type of start gives me the freedom to pass it more. I am going to try the zone option versus a worser team, though. It seems to pay off. And if this play never worked versus Michigan, but I can consistently run it well versus Maryland, that says a lot about how good Michigan's defense was. Jordan James is gone for his 2nd touchdown of the day. We really haven't had to throw the ball. I knew that this play was good. It was literally just the team that we were playing against. We could go up 21-0 right here. What have I been doing against some of these other teams? It might only work against the bad ones, but that gives me a lot of freedom to explore the rest of this offense right here. Stewart makes the catch. And I'm going to keep on seeing what gets open with this deep attack play. I'm going for the aggressive catch here. Instead, though, we're going to throw an interception, and we're going to probably give up a touchdown because of it. I would love to say that I can't blow a 21-point lead, but trying to throw the ball, I probably could. But it's not going to stop me from figuring out what works against the computer. Even though we beat Michigan, we clearly can't handle some of the other big teams, because not every school is going to have a terrible offense. On 3rd and 7, we didn't pick up our blocks. And Maryland scored again. We are in a position where we could blow a 21-point lead. What are we doing? I'm just going to chew the clock. We'll take it to halftime. I'll run the zone option one more time, though they're probably going to pick up on it eventually, or maybe not. Jordan James has to outrun number 13 right here. Come on, keep on going, keep on going. That really stinks. Maybe I shouldn't have chewed the clock down, because even though we got in field goal range, there was no time left. The Terrapins also started the 3rd quarter scoring, which means now it is 21-all. Our defense has not played this bad all season. So I'm starting to wonder if we have a lot of success on offense, if the computer's just going to respond back due to that. Either way, it doesn't make me feel too great. Here on 2nd down, I know we can hit the sidelines, but sometimes we just don't catch it. Now it's 3rd and 4. Look at this. The zone speed option, whatever you want to call it, is going to be our best play. I will do my best to not abuse that, but we have goals in this video I want to hit, and it's making the jet touch pass look terrible. I mean, that hasn't gone well for us in this game yet, though. Tez Johnson, one guy to beat right here. He's going to do that, and he keeps on going. Besides those 2 plays, though, we don't really have anything else. And here on 3rd and goal, I'm going to wait for the drag to get open. Possession, catch it. That's a touchdown. Our defense would also stop Maryland, but we have the ball on the 5-yard line. That's not great. So I need to make sure I get this out and I don't throw an interception. That could have been bad. But I really can't run the speed option in case we do throw it 15 yards behind us, and we still took a safety. After going up by 21, I've probably played the worst I've played all year. So I can never get this complacent in any other games this season. This has been atrocious. 3rd and 11 now. We have got to throw the ball here, and I think we're going to have our tight end. I saw him cut, and that is perfect. Come on. He had the inside leverage leverage we were looking for. A quarterback designed run here is pretty dumb, but I accidentally called it. We didn't have a running back out there on the field to audible. And this is our chance to seal the game. It is 3rd and 8. I'm trusting our drag route or our halfback angle route. They're going to get over to it though. Oh my gosh. No. That can't be a pick 6. Come on, hold and tackle him. Knowing that we have no throw power, I threw that ball way too late. We're getting the interception back though, and this is huge. Thank goodness we have been bailed out by our defense for like the 50th time this year. I would have actually choked a 21-point lead, and instead we're going to improve to 9-1. Our passing stats might not look good, but Jordan James on the ground ran for 243, which is incredible, and us and Ohio State are both still in first place in the Big Ten. All we have to do to make the playoffs is survive against Wisconsin and Washington, because even if we did make the Big Ten championship game and lost it, we're not going to drop out of the playoffs. But we had a close call against Maryland, and I have a theory that read option plays are good. I'm not even going to try to explain it though, because we got absolutely nothing right there. We're about to take a sack, and this is 100% going to be a 3 and out. I don't even know why I tried to throw it. Due to some turnovers in defense though, we keep getting the ball in great spots, and I'm completely messing it up. Now we're going to hand it off. They're all over the run, so it's time to pull it out. We could do this against Maryland. We did against Illinois, and now we're doing it against Wisconsin. It must have just been the fact that we were playing Michigan, who was so much better. Their defensive line could stop this play, and I think it's safe to assume that anybody we'd play in the playoffs can also probably stop it. So I'm not very comfortable continuing to use it. We need to have success other ways. It's going to be hard to do that on a 3rd and 16 though. We beat their man-to-man coverage, and it wasn't a good throw. I think now that I'm this far into the season, I'm just experiencing some fatigue, and that's why I'm playing worse. I want to try new things, because I don't want to run the same plays over and over. I want to find new stuff that can also get us big gains, but it's hard to do that with our quarterback. I've tried to audible to an inside zone here on 3rd and 2 as well. It is going to actually work. It holds up, and there's still about a minute and a half left on the clock. They are running man-to-man coverage right here, and they're all over us. I think man-to-man is the hardest for us to throw against, just because they're going to stick with our players at least close enough to deflect the bad throws. But we should be able to pick up this 3rd and 2 just looking at the defense they have out there on the field. And now is where I get pretty dumb. I have a lot of weird routes out there. This crosser though did get open versus man-to-man, and what I thought would be a terrible decision to try and throw it deep actually worked out really well for us. We're going to hit this drag 2. Lowe has stepped in. I'm not sure why he's getting all the minutes here, but he is also on the field for the route that we have to make the aggressive catch on. We can't truck in. And there is Tez Johnson. Finally, he's back out there. We're using him for the jet touch pass. He just has to get around a couple defenders here, and he's in. We've started the second half pretty well too. We have a chance to take a 2-possession lead. This jet touch pass play is one of the best ones in the playbook. We can get over one dude, and I'll see if I can hit our tight end or anything here. It looks like we're gonna have to go for a play like this, and it's caught. I hate to run it again, but it's our only way to guarantee he can get another touchdown catch. Actually, I don't hate running it at all. We've started the second half so well, we now have a 2-possession lead, and getting the ball back on the 39-yard line, we might be able to drive down the field for more points, but no. I just threw it straight to the defense. They can go ahead and have their touchdown. And that's why man-to-man coverage is always going to give us issues. If the ball is ever underthrown, they're going to get to it the first time before we can, though this was a good RPO. And I am curious if we can have another big play off of a crossing route. It seems like it would have gotten open right there, but we also have Evan Stewart underneath. So I might have found a new play for us to run here on 3rd down. We're going to hit our slant, and that's caught. I'm liking what I'm seeing. We still need to close out this game, though. They're sticking with the halfback screen, and I need to make sure that we at least get in field goal range since I tried to blow this game. It really shouldn't be as close as it is. We are going to have that route though. Never mind, they get over to it. We just don't have any throw power. That's why at the start of the season, I really didn't want to throw the ball, especially not much deep, but we are going to be in a good spot with a couple minutes left in this one. I accidentally skipped a drive, but basically what happened was they threw an interception. They held us to a 3 and out. We kicked a field goal. And like the rest of the game, they've done nothing versus our defense. They've scored more points on defense. I'm also still convinced that this new play could be what gets us some big wins. They have forced a fumble though, and they're probably still going to do nothing with it. It is now 4th and 10. Tyler Van Dyke throws it straight at us. So I made closing out this game far more complicated than it ever had to be. I think we should be able to get through this game against our rivals Washington though, because I decided to take a break for a second, eat, and now I'm ready for a bunch of other games. If you play too many games in a row, especially whenever you have specific things you have to achieve like this, you begin to regress, because I can only play a certain way, and now it's 3rd and long. I've seen this zone option work so many times in the last couple weeks, though. I'm trusting it on 3rd and 5. Jordan James outruns that defender. And with the rain, you have to wonder if it's going to be a little bit more difficult to hold onto the ball whenever we throw it, which is not necessarily a good thing. These passes are already off target and very hard to hold on to, though we're going to just slip off of that tackle. And we'll see if we can complete a pass for anything on this 1st and 10 that is held in. I'd say this has been a really solid first drive. It's almost hard to tell that our quarterback is one of the worst of all time right now. And I think we should have this bubble screen right here. They bit down to stop the run, but we can't get free. That is so frustrating. I thought we'd be able to, though. We're going to have Ferguson. And we just need 3 more yards to keep the drive alive, which we're going to get plus a lot more because the blocks were good. Now, one play I have not used much of is this RPO. I just tried to throw it right there. But that's because I didn't know what formation it was in. Running this speed option, Jordan James is going to take it in. And after all of that effort that we had to score some points, our defense held them to a 3 and out. We're on a 3rd and 7 though, so I can't sit here and act like we're in a fantastic spot. Nowhere to go. And then Washington would follow it up with a touchdown, so it's almost like we never had that lead at all. I'm telling you, those fade routes are our key to success on the deep plays. But I probably should have kept some things on the ground. Right now, we're going to have to make this possession catch, and we let it go. 3rd and 14, we're probably just about to give it back to the Huskies. But then we'd get it back with 30 seconds left in the half, and I think if we take our crosser right here, we should have had a big gain, but it was underthrown so bad they're getting the pick, and now we got to knock them out. Maybe taking a break wasn't a great idea. They'd also start the 3rd quarter with a touchdown. And since they ended the first half with a field goal, that means we are in a bad spot. I really don't know what to do. It is now 3rd and 15. This route is not open. We just needed to get a flag out of it. But somehow, even though there was PI on the play, we were able to bring it in too. I'm now desperate to get more points, and they're just stopping the run. I know the one play that we could run if we wanted to have a lot of big gains, but there's no guarantees it's going to work the same way it did last week. We have to get the first. So I'll use something similar right here, the speed option, instantly pitching it out, but they are going to catch us. I think the only one that's really good is this one that's labeled a zone option. We do a hard pitch like that, we hold our blocks, and Jordan James is going to take that outside leverage to take it to the crib. We've also immediately gotten an interception. So even though this game was not looking good for us at one point, now we can give it to Jordan James again, and he just has to get around that defender. We're actually not in too terrible of a spot. We're going to hit Ferguson right here. Our block is going to hold up, and he is in. Getting the ball back as well to end this 3rd quarter. This has been a dramatic change. I don't know how they didn't knock it down. But we're actually in a pretty good spot, and I am just going to wait, throw it over to Ferguson, and that is underthrown. If we even had 70 throw power, this would be so easy, but it's not, and we're somehow still a top 3 team. I am struggling to find some of the plays that were so good for us in previous weeks, though, which is a little bit of a problem. I forgot what formation they were in. If they bring a blitz like they did right there, I've got to get that ball out quickly. We can catch that, though. And I think any type of dagger play would really work versus man-to-man coverage, but it's been underthrown. That was zone as well, but it really exposed the defense. They probably had some match principles out there. They can swat that, though we still caught it. And I think I've seen enough. It is time to just hand this ball off so we can get a 2-possession lead. They are making it so difficult to punch it in, though. We are going to have that route. We just have to make sure they don't get to it. And you know what? I think we should just trust our defense if we don't get into the end zone on this 3rd and goal, though we should have had a block right there. I think we can go for this. Jordan James better get some good blocks right here. He's going to try to fight his way in, but since they got a field goal, when we're getting this ball back, we're going to have to get 1 first down versus them. Thankfully, that doesn't seem like it's going to be too difficult. Our blocks are holding up, and we're going to end the regular season 11-1. That was super stressful right there just because there was a chance they came back. But if Jordan James can continue to take over, we'll be just fine. This is when things get serious, though. We have our rematch against Ohio State, and I would have much preferred if we could have played a team like Nebraska in this game. Either way, we are a playoff team, so at least we can keep that in mind. But we're only averaging 23 points per game, and honestly, I feel like our stats have not been bad for a quarterback like ours. If we can win this game right here, I think that shows we can compete with any playoff team. And I'm just going to get it out of the way on the first play. Does the zone option work versus these better schools? Yes, it still can. Jordan James with the spin. Maybe we weren't running it right versus Michigan. I mean, to be completely fair, there was somebody all over it ready to stop it, but it still worked. And on 2nd and 7, I'm going to take the bubble right here, but we had no blocks at all. It is 3rd down already. Our running back should have been open, but we floated the pass, and I am going for it on 4th and 7. That is right. I'm not sure why I decided to go for it on 4th and 7. It could have been an arm punt, but we were lucky. They only got a field goal out of our aggressiveness, and now we got to respond back. Now is not the time to try anything new. We have to stick with what we're best at, especially with a playoff spot on the line, though we didn't get it out in time. They have also scored, making it 10-0. It is not looking great for us, but I feel like the last time we played, it was kind of close until I started making my own mistakes. Maybe it's because we were running the ball like this right here. I just have a vision that we can compete with pretty much every team. I want to win a championship with Oregon, and we are going to get a little bit more. The jet touch passes need to go in our favor as well, though, and the blocking just isn't there. If they're committing that heavily to stopping it, though, I'm going to run a fake jet touch pass, see if that opens up the hole. And I don't really love going for it on 4th and inches, but I felt like we had no choice. I think we have to end this first half with a touchdown, with there being like no time left in this game. So that is the goal I've set out to achieve. Taking our drag will get us a little bit. You really have to mix in the pass and the run, though. If you just run the ball, they will stop the run very well. And on 3rd and 1, Jordan James is going to get enough. It's hard to say if this is the right decision in this situation, but we are running the zone option, pitching it to the outside and letting him go to work. We would also get a defensive stop to start this second half. That is big for us. We're going to take our drag like we did at the end of the first and just slowly move this ball down the field. They can't guard everything out there. They're going to have to stick to it. Since this jet touch pass has not worked for us versus Ohio State, and it still isn't, we've had to switch things up a little bit, though I'm going to go for it right here. That was probably about to be an interception. I was just throwing it up. Our screen doesn't get out, but they only got a field goal, and I finally found the play I've been looking for 2 games now. I found it. We have that on our side going into the 4th, and we also just need to go all the way down the field pitching this last second. Jordan James has a couple players he needs to outrun here, and that works too. If we get a man-to-man coverage look, I think we're going to have what I'm hoping for. If not, we'll take the drag. And I might be dumb here to think that we can hit this seam, but it looks like it's open, so we're going to throw it anyway, and it's dropped. That was it right there. We had the ball in the right spot. We shouldn't have relied on somebody that barely sees the field for us, though, at receiver. And going to the air this much with 4 minutes left and the stakes being as big as they are, I'm not sure how big of a fan of it I am, but it's working. The runs were cute. They were getting us a couple of yards a pop, but right now we have a proven system that works. And it's going to be a late hit against Ohio State as well. We are now on the 16-yard line. We have a chance to take the lead right here. Jordan James goes. But the problem is, even if we do get in, we're leaving them too much time to get a field goal. Well, I don't know if the Buckeyes are in field goal range yet, but it's coming very soon. That is probably going to take them there. Can somebody bring down Judkins? I thought they nerfed him at the beginning of the year, but obviously not. He broke 3 tackles. And this is a very big problem because they are settling for a field goal. I'm going to have to drive down the field in like a minute. If we have that chance, Will Howard's going to throw this away. And I would really appreciate if they just missed this kick right here, but I think that is down the middle. Now the question is, with a minute left on the clock, can we get into field goal range? I'm thinking probably not. Though I didn't mean to throw that interception straight to them. We have to let them take it back to the crib, because if not, we have no chance at winning. But I just realized with this extra point, we still have no chance. I'm going to run the exact same play back, but without the pressure of picking up any yards. See, I wasn't even nervous there. And I think that's going to have to be our go-to once we get to the playoffs. It clearly gets some routes open, though that pass is underthrown as well. And the collapse was just inevitable. We're going to lose to the Buckeyes. Could I have finished off that game better? Probably. But instead, I threw it straight to Caleb Downs. We're not going to be able to win a Big Ten championship with Oregon, and I'm ready for the playoffs, where we've drawn East Carolina in the first round. It doesn't get any luckier than this, but we're still a top 4 team because both of our losses came to the Buckeyes. And if we win this game, we would play Appalachian State. I cannot believe how lucky our playoff draw was. We have to take advantage of it, though. I threw almost as many interceptions as touchdowns, so we clearly just need to let Jordan James take over, and his stats look good. Then you have Tez Johnson, only 900 yards, but he did have 17 touchdowns. But we didn't win a single award, so this team has a lot to prove. This game should actually be pretty interesting. It should show how much we've improved throughout this season versus what we did at the beginning of the year. And I can't believe the setup we have. If I'm not able to make the semifinals with this team, that's going to be embarrassing, though Ohio State is in the running. If both of us win up to that point, we would have to play them again. And that would be in a spot for the championship, but that is so far ahead. I need to focus on this game right now. If I can throw against Big Ten teams, though, I can definitely throw against East Carolina. I'll get a lot of yards in this one. And it's this trips formation that gives me my favorite look. We really need to just take our check down here and continue to push it. If we can just get them to run man-to-man coverage one time, I think we'll have a touchdown. I can't test it, though, if they keep on going out in zone. But this looks like the look that I'm hoping for. They've lined up. It is man-to-man, and Tez Johnson's created absolutely no separation. No wonder they're coming out to stop this RPO as well, though we're still going to to be able to hit it over to him, and he just has to fight through. From this point forward, all I care about is a championship, not stats at all. So if we need to run it 30 times, we can do that. Now, I will say I don't appreciate the fact that East Carolina went down and got a touchdown, but there is no way that they can stop this zone option play. We're going to wait, pitch it to Jordan James, and he just has to get around this guy. This is what I'm keeping in the bag for our third matchup against Ohio State. If we can perfect this run and we run this half of the game, we might be able to beat them. Like I've said in another game, it feels like the upgraded version of this jet touch pass. Every so often we get good blocking on this too, though. And I can't believe that East Carolina has gotten another 3 points against our D. They're currently playing better against us than most of the Big Ten schools we face this season. We've also fumbled the ball away. They're picking it up and EA's trying to help them. I am challenging this play right here. I know better, but it was clearly knocked loose well before his knee even hit the ground. I just had to hope for the best without watching the replay. And they were unfortunately able to get a field goal out of that. That is the type of unlucky stuff we can't have happening. We have no timeouts either as time winds down in this first half. I'm not sure who spent them, but it sure was not me. So we barely have enough time to just get off the same play over and over. Our crossing route's actually open right here though, and Stewart comes back to it. We're pretty much just gonna have to run that back again. If this is a good pass, we'd have a field goal, but the connection couldn't be made. Now we have to drill a 53-yarder, and that couldn't have been more perfect. I don't even look at the win when I attempt those, but I should have. It almost fell short. And how has East Carolina been able to score another touchdown? This is getting ridiculous. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to take them down if they're able to keep on responding back. And I will gladly hand this ball off to see if our blocks hold up. We might need to utilize the zone option more than I would have liked in this game. They have a defender over there to stop Jordan James, and everybody else is just going to get a ton of tape on one of the only plays that makes this offense even a little bit competent. All it's going to take is one mistake, and this team is in a lot of trouble. That ball is so underthrown. But I told you all, that crossing route seems to get wide open enough versus man-to-man coverage that we can actually take it. This has been a nerve-wracking drive, but we are getting close to the end zone. And I'm just afraid with where that cornerback's lined up, this jet touch pass isn't going to work for us on third down, though we kind of got the blocks we needed, and I'm glad I went with it. Look at this though, 78-yard touchdown. And this is ridiculous. I am playing one of the best offensive games I have played all season, but it might not be enough. With the way their defense is lined up, we could also have a touchdown right here, though that ball is so underthrown. So now it's 3rd and 3. They have no linebackers over the middle, and it doesn't matter. They still stopped us right there. We had the advantage. We had the higher overall players, though thankfully the speed option is working on 4th and 2. 23 is trying to catch Jordan James, but he is just not taking a good enough angle. I am begging that our defense just gets one stop on this 3rd and 12. That is all I'm asking for. Right here, they're getting in pressure, and I have blown enough games or come close to blowing enough games this season that I know how to close one out. There's been some close calls. I'm actually really proud that we went 10 and 2, and we can take this to the 2-minute warning with one more run inbounds. Jordan James is going to have to stay in though. We're basically from this point forward just going to need 2 more first downs, and just by my play calling in this game, how simple it's been versus some of the other ones, you can tell how seriously I've been taking this, but it is working out in our favor. This has been a battle, but we are now in a very, very good spot, and whether or not we get one more first down doesn't matter. Either way, East Carolina is going to have almost no time left in this game, though Tez Johnson might just make it worse. We can take a knee with the worst QB and celebrate that we were at least able to get to the playoffs and win a game. I might be wrong in saying this, but I think I've overachieved with this team. And let's just get this one against Appalachian State over with. Assuming we take care of business versus the Mountaineers, who are just a 77 overall, we're going to be moving on to the semifinals, where we're either playing Tennessee or Ohio State. We have seriously gotten so lucky with the draw. But after seeing the type of game that East Carolina just gave us, I'm going into this one a little bit more worried, and if we could have picked up our block there, we would have had a huge game. I mean, we still spun out of it for a little bit, but that's not going to be enough. On 3rd down, we're just going to have to force it over to him. And I can't believe how badly I just missed that read. Now we're going to take our drag route on this next play. But what I really want to do is feed that bubble screen. The bubble screen could be big. To put it simple, I'm not going to feel comfortable against the Mountaineers until we have at least a 14-point lead. This play is going to get us inside the red zone, but that still leaves a lot of room for error. So now we're going to use the jet touch pass. The blocks actually look really good, and Tez Johnson celebrates in. They've also failed to score for the 2nd time today, so they're struggling more than East Carolina. Or maybe not. With that huge sack on 2nd down, we're going to have to get this ball out in time. And I should have never tried to roll out into that throw. That was not going to work. They're getting a field goal, and I just know that there are so few plays that are actually going to work for this team. That is the hardest part. Even with this call I have here on 3rd and 3, I'm pretty nervous for it. It looks like Johnson should be able to catch it though. And I think we have to try and make this the final drive of the first half. Waiting before I hit R2 helped. I would also love to see if number number 90 tries to run man-to-man coverage versus Tez Johnson. It looks like he should be open right here. Everybody else got blocked off. But for whatever reason, we're not able to do anything about it. Now I'm throwing up a jump ball to our tight end, and he does come back to it. It is so frustrating whenever that aggressive catch on the hitch play doesn't work, but that actually helped us because now I'm able to run more time down in this first half before we reach the end zone. I did accidentally call a quarterback draw right here, though. That can't end well. And the jet touch pass has already gotten us 1 touchdown, so I'm going to give it another shot. Tez Johnson gets out, but unfortunately, that is not enough. It is now 3rd and 8. Ferguson is open right there. And you know what? We're not going to win a championship taking our field goals playing passively. We're going for it to end the first half. Anytime they bring in most of their team like they're doing it right here, it is going to be a money play because we just got to get to the outside, make a guy miss if they're in the way, and Jordan James is going to start the second half off right. That is what we needed, 21-3. He might not be the best running back in the world, but with another defensive stop, I think we can handle closing this game out from this point. And the real question is going to be, the third time we're playing Ohio State, can we take them down? We've learned a lot from both matchups. It should be a good one. As you can see, we're just chewing the clock in the third quarter. And the reason I already know that we're playing the Buckeyes is it keeps on popping up at the bottom of our screen. There is no guessing now. So we better come prepared for that game. I have not hit this wheel route successfully in a while, but I'm just trying to figure out a couple more plays. Maybe this RPO right here could be good against the Buckeyes. And even if they did score again, they were not coming back. Our defense actually played like it should have last week, but we already saw the 34-23, so we knew this was coming. Third time might be the charm. On the other half of the bracket, you have Kansas and Missouri. So this is the toughest game between us and the championship, and it'll show whether or not this is possible. Now, one thing I didn't factor in was if we got any stat boost from any of our coaches or coordinators. The only one that has points in tactician on quarterback goes to throw to run and change a direction. So with that in mind, we have been stuck with 1 in every single category but those. That boost can't help us really either. It would only give us an extra couple for mobile quarterback stats. And if it's not obvious already, there is literally 0 mobility when you have 1 speed and acceleration. I'm also not too happy that we are starting off with the ball in this game. Their defensive line is going to work. So I know that runs up the middle aren't going to work forever, but while they are, I'm going to take it. The composure of your team is a big stat in this game. I think a lot of people forget about it, like it's not even there. But it does affect how everybody plays. On 3rd and 1, the blocks could have been better. 11 got free, but we are getting the first. Now, I have yet to pull out the zone option run, mainly because we haven't had a great chance at it. But right here, I feel like there's enough guys out of position where it could lead to a huge play. It's not going to be a fumble, but there is a flag. I swear, whenever we play these tougher teams, there's just something that's going to hold us back no matter what. But this time around, I am prepared for it. We're going to take our check down immediately and let Jordan James go to work. I've also decided we're going to go back to this zone option run. Everybody bit in on our quarterback like he was going to go anywhere. And without a Mickey Mouse holding penalty, it actually worked out well for us. Now we're going to use the jet touch pass. But the gains on stuff like that are not as big versus the Buckeyes, so we're going to throw it too. We're going to take our drag, making it 3rd and 1 where I really wish I didn't come out in inside zone. They're going to give us that same look again on 4th and 2 though. We should easily be able to pick this up with Jordan James, and that is exactly what I was hoping for. Unfortunately, we did not get a stop on defense though, so now we have to get another touchdown. And this one better be to end the first half, or else they're going to be in way too good of a spot. We could have a huge play, but it never goes for that much because of how quick they are. I could be making a mistake by trying to throw the ball twice in a row, but I saw something there that I liked, and there it is. We have run that concept a lot. We have also run this zone option a lot, but if they're going to stack the box with that many players, it's the smart play call, and Jordan James is dusting those Buckeyes defenders. You might say I'm cheesing the computer, but I am literally working with a quarterback that is like a 0 overall, and I had high hopes for that play right there. We almost need them to send a blitz, so we have a chance to get it out to Tez Johnson in time, and now he's going to route up those players. I'm telling you, we've built a little bit of a mini scheme here. The man-to-man look versus that coverage is actually so money. But because I thought we caught that ball, I wasted one of our 3 timeouts. Now we're pitching it to Jordan James, and these defenders are going to be able to get over to him. Whatever we do, we have to make sure that we get a field goal to end this first half. We cannot screw that up. But there is also a chance we could still get a touchdown. That is kind of my dream, and hitting our drag route is going to lead to us taking it to the 5. This is a big play right here in this game. It's all going to depend what type of coverage we get out there. and I don't like anything. You know what? I will settle for the field goal. No way. No way. I just missed that kick right there. That's the worst thing I've ever done. We might have gotten a stop to start this third quarter, but I think that's going to come back to bite us. I mean, that is a whole 3 points. I overcalculated how far I had to aim to go to the side, though. I've missed some to the other part of it, and I'm starting to realize that kicks from that close up on a hash mark are harder than almost anything else in this game. Jordan James will not get us the first, so I'm going to need him to come up big on 3rd and 1, and the blocks actually look pretty good. Now, right now, we have Whittington in there instead of him. We had to get him a break, but maybe these fresh legs are going to be able to take something for a huge game. And I felt like we were cooking through the air to end that first half as well. It is ridiculous how fast they're able to get in sometimes, though. That is on Heisman no matter what. It really doesn't matter who your quarterback is. You are going to be affected by it, and on third down, our drag route gets us enough. This has been a sweat fest. I have been locked in the entire time. I've been making sure I only make a couple mistakes, and I've pretty much stuck to our 5 or 6 key plays. I've switched it up a little bit, but now we're in a tough spot. It's 3rd and 10. They're not going to stack the boxes heavily because it's not 3rd and short, and Jordan James is still going to be able to outrun those defenders. I'm not saying one stop wins us this game, but if we can get it on this 3rd and 8, that would be massive. And since they marked it as a 4th and inches, we have the ball back, but it's on the 5-yard line. This is tough because we really cannot make a mistake here, and I was spamming to throw the bubble, but it just didn't register. Now we have to try and force this over to Johnson, where I have to now decide if it's worth it to put the game in the hands of my defense or me right here. I have remembered, though, that we have a 0 overall quarterback, and seeing that it's 3rd and 10 right here, I think we made the right decision. Will Howard just has to miss this pass, and he doesn't. They'd eventually score a touchdown too, which means it is now 21-all. We have the ball with 1.5 minutes left, and I think we have the look that we're looking for right here. We just need them to stay pinched in. We need one of those blocks to get picked up, and Tez Johnson just has to get around him to get us into field goal range. We were so close to making it happen right there. I tried to juke, but it just didn't end up working, and there's only 32 seconds left now. We actually have to start moving it a little bit better. You know, it's not set up to be a great play right here. I'm not liking the look pre-play, but it has gotten us to this point, and Jordan James is so tired. Somebody needs to fill him up so he has more in the tank. That is what cost us not getting a huge gain right there. And you best believe before trying to settle for the game winner, we're centering this one up down the middle. Knowing that arrow's going to disappear as well, we don't need that much power. And the walk-off field goal means we're headed to the national championship. That was stressful, and I told you all I was going to use the speed option as much as we needed. Jordan James got it done. But we haven't finished the job yet, and we have drawn Kansas. This was the ultimate goal, and we have made it this far. But they averaged 12 more points per game than us. That's fine. We can lean on our defense, and also Jordan James. He has almost 2,000 rushing yards this season going into this one. I've been on a mission, and what's so crazy about this versus the series where I play with perfect players is I was never able to win a championship with the perfect player on the worst team, but put the worst player on the best team. And on my first attempt at any position, we have gotten all the way here. Normally, I'd still be a little bit worried, but we just took down Ohio State, and they had our number all year, so we've clearly improved. We're getting some decent blocks, but what I'm waiting on is some man-to-man coverage. I think they're going to have that right here, and Tez Johnson brings it in. It's taken a lot. There's probably less than 10 plays in this playbook that can actually go super well for us. But through this entire season, we have built the only scheme that actually works for this team, and you know what? I'm going for the hurdle right here. Get in there. That was the weakest hurdle of all time. He jumped like a foot off the ground. But we were able to get our 7 points, and I'm going to try my best to win this game without using the big play. As much as I have loved that speed option, as much as it has hurt us in some other matchups, it does feel a little bit broken, and I don't want anybody discrediting this run. On 3rd down, Stewart is able to reel this ball in. Now, you could say both that speed option and this jet touch pass are a little bit broken, but they also have had times where they fumbled or not gone for anything. So I'm just taking advantage of the things I have found that have worked for this team. Now we're going for a huge passing play. There's too much loft on the ball, though. With one throw power, it just sits there. And if anything, on 3rd and 9, I can't take the sack. We can at least kick a field goal. It's been a little bit more rare, but there are inaccurate passes like that one every so often. This should be a really good kick. I mean, this kicker's incredible. And even though he's only a 79 overall, he has 91 kick accuracy. In my rebuilds, I might need to recruit off of the kick accuracy stat instead of the kick power one, just because of how easy it's made making field goals. And since our defense got a stop against Kansas, we could end this first half in the perfect way. After losing a yard on our next first down run, though, we're going to have to pass it here on 2nd and 11, and the drag won't get loose. So this is a huge 3rd and 4. I would normally run that speed option right here, but we're sticking with my word. And now they might end this first half with a touchdown. They are not going for the field goal. They're going for it on this play, and I think they just caught it to end the half. To make matters worse, we are no longer having any luck running the ball, and it's not looking good. It is 3rd and 14. I think I'm going to have to just take this crosser, hope for the best, and it doesn't get caught. With a field goal, they have now scored 10 straight points. Jordan James is doing his best, but they've kind of picked up on the few plays that we do run, and just taking this check down to him, he doesn't turn around. You know what? I'm going to run the zone option on 3rd and 5. I will gladly win the championship with this play if that is what it takes. Keep on going. And I already had a hard enough challenge in this video. I don't need to make it even more difficult. Now that we're past midfield, this drive is looking a lot better. We have enough time back back there to take our drag. And I've really gone away from throwing those bubble screen RPOs, which is kind of weird. They were super solid at the beginning of the season. I'm just so terrified that we're not going to block and they're going to be able to jump it, especially with everything on the line. Now using this halfback screen, Jordan James had to wait for that ball to get there, but it didn't matter because we're starting the fourth quarter inside the red zone. We have another play before the fourth, though, just to get a few more. It literally all comes down to this. And you could say that they've played a little bit better, but I have been trying my best. And come on, we got a block there. They are also really lined up to stop the speed option, so we're actually going to run it to this side of the field. And you know what? Only getting a field goal out of this drive does not upset me. We can trust our defense. They've gotten it back to us with about 4 minutes left in this game. And I can't describe how nervous I am right now. I do not want to choke this. It being 3rd and 8 is super tough, though. There's not a great play call for this situation. There's also a flag out there on the field, and it's against us, so we would have been moved back to a 3rd and even longer anyway. I know we wouldn't have picked it up, but if they get this 3rd and 17, we are in trouble. Jalen Daniels is just taken off, and thankfully, he did not get enough. We are starting this drive on the 8-yard line, though, so Tez Johnson's going to have to break off a huge play, and I'm going to have to see another one out of him. This jet touch pass has worked wonders all season, but they just didn't block here. My biggest issue is if this play backfires for us, we are giving them plenty of time to move it down the field, and they just jumped up to intercept that ball. We have taken this drag route for the whole second half of the season. Never once has that happened. And I guess we're lucky that they scored a touchdown, but things are not looking good right here. I'm literally just throwing up a prayer, and that is not going to work out. We have lost to Kansas in the championship. Go ahead, take it back. This is just heartbreaking, and looking back on this game, I'm probably going to see some reads that I should have made or something. But I'm just going for anything at this point. We need 2 touchdowns. This deep attack play has worked for us in some of our other games, though again, it's just underthrown. There's not enough arm strength on this side of the ball. And in another player career, I have failed to win a championship. We did go far, though, a lot farther than I thought we would. But beating Ohio State is the best that we're going to do. Either way, though, that was a lot of fun. I think we threw for a lot more passing touchdowns and passing yards than I would have expected. Jordan James did go off. And make sure to let me know down in the comments how well you think you would do under these exact same circumstances.